Hi everyone, Kate Byars, Corporate Women Unleashed. I'm excited to be here with you for today's broadcast. And I want to start with a little bit of a different topic, and then we'll jump into our topic, which is how to find time to think strategically during the day. But if you were someone who was waiting for this broadcast live, you'll know that I am late. All right, and I want to let you know, first of all, I apologize for being late, obviously. Hey, Cammie. But here's what's going on. So I had something that came up, and it was a priority. It was a priority that took precedence over this live broadcast, even though we had, announced all over social media that Kate's going live today at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Here it is 2:15 Eastern, and I'm just now coming, on live. So what happens for women is a lot of times we get so freaked out that we're doing something wrong. I'm sure you've all seen the memes like, sorry, not sorry, that we spend a lot of time apologizing, worried, oh my gosh, I'm late. What are people going to think about me? And I do feel bad that I'm late. For those of you who were there live at 1:30 and I didn't come on to broadcast, obviously I do feel late, and I apologize for that. At the same time, I also know where to place my priorities. Yeah, own it, Cammie, And this happens to us all day long at work. Here I am at work today. Something came up that was a pressing precedent. There was no blood. It wasn't an emergency, but it did need to be attended to even before this live broadcast that we'd announced. And this is something that's really key, women, that we have to understand, is that we spend so much time trying to please people. We spend so much time beating ourselves up for not being perfect. We spend so much time worrying, what are people going to think? Or who am I to be late? Instead of just saying, hey, look, you know what? I'm sorry I didn't make it to your meeting. Something came up. However, I'm here now. How can I help you? It's that simple, right? It is that simple, but we spend way too much time festering, worrying, trying to do it all, where the guys don't. And every now and then I'll do a broadcast on the girl guy thing. And this is a girl guy thing. Guys, if my husband's late to something, he's like, he doesn't even think to apologize. He's just late, but women, we worry so much. So I want to bring that up because I am completely calm. I'm not worried about being late. I knew the decision. I was completely confident that the decision I made to put something else in front of this broadcast was the right thing to do. And when you feel confident in your decisions, you're confident in the value you bring, and you're able to just say, hey, look, I'm sorry, that must have been frustrating to be waiting for my broadcast and I wasn't able to show up on time. That's it. And we move on and we can discuss it if it's an issue or not. So this is really, really important, ladies, to be grounded and confident in the decisions you're making and know that we're not always going to be perfect and there's times we're going to upset people, and that's okay. Cool? All right, so let's dig into the broadcast. How do you find time to think strategically? Well, this is a big issue for driven people because when you are driven, you love to get things done. Okay. And it feels good, right? We're driving. Ooh, email box is clean. Now I've got all my calls done. I've got all these things finished. We love to get things finished. We love to multitask. We love to have our fingers in 6 or 8 different projects. We love to not swim in our lane because we believe that we're the best answer for everything that's going on in the company. So what happens is we overextend ourselves and then we have no time to think strategic. And one of the things that drives me crazy about executive development is that a lot of times they'll say, you need to take care of your well-being. You need to think strategically. You need to block your calendar. And everyone tells you what you're supposed to do. It's like, yeah, I know, but how do I do it? Right? Like, you're not supposed to be digging in your emails, but you do it anyways. So here's the thing you have to remember is as you move up the career ladder, and as you become someone who is now your value as an influencer, as a high value, person, a high value person in the industry or in the company, the goal is not to get the work done. I'm going to say that again. I know. The goal is not to get the work done. And we work with women all the time who are in the executive ranks and they're like, oh my gosh, there's so much work. I've got to get this work done. I'm like, why do you have to get the work done? It's not about getting the work done. It's about influencing how the work gets done. Oh, Maggie, great to see you. So that's what we're doing, okay, all day long. In fact, I've been helping several clients with this earlier today. All day long, I'm looking at how is the work getting done? What's the most effective way to get to the goal? You want to win the war, not the battle. The battle is not a clean inbox. Nobody dies and says, oh my God, my inbox is clean, right? And if people are waiting on you, you get to them when they become the priority. And that's okay. And that could be your boss. That could be the CEO. You have to know what is the war we're all trying to win. And as long as you've got your eye on that piece, then it's just a matter of saying, hey, got it. I get that we have something going on. I won't be able to get on that plane on Monday, but I can get on the plane on Thursday. I won't be able to get on the plane at all this week. I won't be at that meeting. I'll be at this meeting. And so what I am always doing all day long, just like what happened right before this live broadcast, is saying, what is the most important thing I need to be doing right now to move the needle, make a difference, have impact, demonstrate my value, and be that valued person, be that valued leader. I'm not sitting around all day going, oh my gosh, there's so many things I have to get done. In fact, funny enough, it was like the beginning of May. I'd had something on my to-do list since December. I kid you not. And I finally finished it in May. And you know what? It just sat there. It was important. It was important. It had to do with a legal issue. It had to do with a banking issue. It was important. It wasn't just some, whatever random thing, but it wasn't important enough until May. And that's just where it sat on Kate's to-do list. So when it comes to thinking strategically, you have to understand, what are you getting paid for at this level? You're getting paid for your insight, your talent, your strategic insight, the ability to look beyond what you have to do in the next hour. When we first come up in our career, we're just getting things done because we don't have experience, we don't have wisdom, we don't have insight. Now you're 10, 15, 20, 25 years into your career. You've got wisdom, you've got insight, and that's what you should be paid for, and you should be thinking strategically. And if you're not protecting that time, you're not doing your job. That is your job to protect that time and say, I'm not going to be at that meeting. I'm not going to be answering those emails. I won't be taking that call. I am going to be sitting here thinking. And if that means you have to leave the office, you leave the office. If that means that you have to leave the office early, if that means you have to shut your door, if that means you have to tell, your assistant to hold all your calls and you've got to turn off the ringer on your phone and the email, you do it. And you think. And I personally like to do it in little bite-sized pieces. Like if I have something that's going to require some thought and I'm at the beginning of that thought process, like a big presentation or I've got something right now that I'm noodling on, I noodle. And what happens is we don't allow ourselves to noodle, like the shower, like the shower impact. Like you take a shower and you have your best ideas in the shower. So what you want to do is you want to think about that thing first thing in the morning, touch it, write a few notes around it. If you're a note person, like I'm very kinesthetic, so I like to type or I like to write. You touch it and then it's in your brain and then you go away, right? And you go do whatever you need to do next. And then you come back to it, maybe 90 minutes later, maybe after lunch, whatever, you touch it again. And then you go away for a while and then you come back to it. And again, if you're very driven, this is hard to do. It's hard. It's like breaking this habit because we're so used to like pound, do. We got to get it done, right? Can you guys relate to that? If you can relate to that joy of just getting massive amounts of stuff done, put a 1 in the comments, right? Because I think we all need to appreciate, and women especially, we've been taught to multitask. We've been taught this, all right? So you love to get stuff done and that gives you a high. Look at stuff, I got all this stuff done, but you got the unimportant stuff done. You got the little stuff done. Yeah, you made people happy because you got back to them in their email box, but you didn't get the big stuff done. We hear this all the time. And what happens is it sets up a habit for you where you're the workhorse. It sets up an expectation for everyone around you that you're the workhorse, you're the girl that gets it done. And it sets up a reputation that you're not strategic, that you don't have leadership, that you have to be led, that unless someone comes and clears your schedule for you, you're unable to do it. And that's not what we want, right? You want people saying, hey, I want to see if she's available to be in the room when we discuss this topic. That's pretty cool. Not like, oh yeah, like let's just go talk about it and then we'll give it to Kate. Kate will get it done. Ugh. That used to happen to me all the time. I was a vice president and I was getting work dumped on me. I was like, why am I always getting this work dumped on me? Because I was always doing it. And I reveled in that. It was like, look at me, I get a lot done. I can take it. I'm tough. I'm the hero. Yeah. Okay. So being a hero is not what you need to survive and thrive. You could do it, but you're going to end up sacrificing a lot of your personal life, happiness, and fulfillment. And eventually what happens as women is we just tap out. We get to a limit. And then we're wondering like, well, why is there a glass ceiling above us? And, why can't I go any further? And why am I not being selected for promotion? It's because how you're operating your career. And the thing you have to understand, ladies, and this is why so much of the work we do has to do with the emotional side, the psychology, the mindset, the emotional state, that you have to adopt. You have to understand this, that the emotional state and the mindset that you had in your younger days does not work at the executive level or at the higher ranks, okay? It just doesn't. You have crushing pressure. You can't be living in fear. You can't be living in self-doubt. You can't be second-guessing yourself, and you can't be the workhorse. However, everything that you've done up to this point to get to this level that has, basically beat you up the ladder, right? Chased you up the ladder has been operating out of fear, working harder than everybody else, doing whatever it takes, taking on all the work. So it seems counterproductive, like, oh my God, if I let go of working that way, I'm going to be a couch potato. No, you're going to elevate yourself and you're going to do less, but what you're going to do is going to be more valuable, right? And that is what you have to remember. And that is how you find time for strategy. No one ever said, go home at 9 o'clock at night, get out your laptop and come up with a great idea. Because at that point, you're toasted, right? We all are. I don't care who you are. And what happens is, and we see this all the time with women, is we start working slower and slower. We become slower on the draw. We are not caring for ourselves. We're not caring for our well-being. We're not giving ourselves time to rest. We're not giving ourselves time to think. And what happens is you're just not productive. You no longer are able to pull out of yourself at the same level when you're exhausted like this. And if you've been doing it for 10 or 15 years, you've worn yourself to a nub. There's nothing left, right? So if you're going to be able to navigate really challenging relationships, challenging conversations, come up with ideas that are breakthrough, that really are laser sharp, that are visionary, you have to create that. That's just not going to happen, right? And if you're a high achiever, you're pretty good at that to begin with, usually, but you're not giving yourself the space to do it. And what's happening is as we rise up the ladder, there's just more and more and more pressure. So we get less effective, less effective, less effective. So it's not about efficiency. It's not about time management of your calendar. It's choosing to be effective and elevating where you live mentally and emotionally so you feel confident that you are operating with clarity and with the right decisions and making that time appropriately. Because that's the other thing I think men do so well is they do not carry the fear that we carry. Oh my God, I'm going to lose my place at the table. Oh my God, everyone's going to be mad at me if I don't get it done. Oh my God. We spend so much time beating ourselves up that we don't know how to operate in these environments just feeling amazing, feeling calm, feeling certain. And you can have confidence. I do want to talk about this. I should do a broadcast on this. You can have confidence. I had confidence. My God, I mean, I think everyone would have always said I was confident throughout my entire career. But there's different kinds of confidence. There's confidence like, I'm so confident that I'm a glass-chewing bitch, which is what I was. Then there's confidence that comes from within, which is like, you're not wearing confidence as armor. You just feel confident, and not just in your capabilities. I've always been confident in my capabilities, but you feel confident that you're doing the right things. You feel confident that you're in the right place at the right time. You feel confident opening your mouth in the room. You feel confident that you deserve to be in the room. I mean, there's a lot of different levels of it where when you have that level of confidence within yourself and you feel very centered and aligned with that, then it just becomes very comfortable to handle any of the backlash, any of the, what do I want to call it? The falling out or something that happens if you do cancel a meeting so that you can think, if you decline the meeting invitation so you can think, if you don't respond to the email for 4 hours so you can think. All of that, just like me showing up late for this broadcast and saying, hey, I apologize, something came up that took precedent, is your ability to live at a different emotional and mental state. And when you do that, then there's 1,000 different strategies to navigate your career and to think strategically. So I want to leave you guys with that today because I've talked a lot and I've introduced a lot of different concepts and ideas for you. So go try it. Let us know how it goes. If you have a question, post it in the comments below. And listen, if you're a high achiever, if you're a highly driven woman and you know you are allowing your work to take too much of a toll in your personal life, you're feeling trapped, or you just know that you love your work and you're always putting work first and your health, your family, your personal life second, watch one of our presentations. We've got some free trainings out there. We'll link to it here below. Check it out. See what you think. If it looks like you're a fit for what we do and you're ready to level up, then make a booking with our team. Get on our call schedule. We try to keep a couple days a week open for you and see if that works for you. And get on the call schedule. Let's talk to your team and see what's going on. We'll chat with you. We'll see if what we do is a fit. We'll see if we can help you. If we can, great. If not, we'll refer you elsewhere. But don't shy away from the call. A lot of women say that 45 minutes is some of the best time they've spent on themselves in their career in a long time. So we encourage you to do that. So again, I'll link the training below here. It's been great speaking with you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.